Hey guys, welcome to Ready Up episode 9. My name is Josh Davis, also known as Grouch. Today I have Mr. Evan Lesh himself. How's it going, sir?
Pretty good.
Also known as the Lesh Prince of Bellevue.
Lesh Prince,
Right.
yeah.
Lesh Prince.
That's my nickname.
We also have Hugh, you guys have seen before. Mr. Hugh Norfolk is the PvP game designer for, I guess, for PvP.
That's right.
A little redundant.
That's all right.
Redundancy,
That's
no
all
big
right.
deal. So last week, if you guys caught the show, we were talking about runes and sigils, trait changes, balance changes, lots of stuff. And we had Carl and Roy on. So this week we're going to talk about some more PvP specific stuff.
Sorry. People are calling out my name.
I see. Don't look at the chat.
Sorry.
I'm going to hide
Yeah,
this.
oh, no.
Alright.
Don't stop do this.
First mistake. First mistake.
Just hide
Lesh
that
Prince
from
is
me.
getting distracted. So anyway, today we're going to talk about some more PvP specific stuff. So we're going to start off with the gear unification.
Unification.
Then we're going to talk about the new build UI, which is pretty snazzy.
We
snazzy.
hinted at that last week. I did a little couple hovers over.
You did,
People-
you did.
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh man, that dev command looks awesome."
Yeah.
They figured it out. They knew.
I got it. And then when we're done with that, we'll be talking about the new PvP reward tracks, which you guys might have saw in the blog post. And then we'll cap off the show with some new balance changes that we put in just recently.
Yep.
So I guess we'll jump into the game and get going.
Let's do it.
All right, Mr. Evans, show us what we got. So we're going to do gear unification first.
Gear unification.
So what does that mean, Evan, first of all?
PvP items are going away entirely. You're going to log into the game on April 15th. You're going to come into the miss, and lockers are going to be gone. Everything that was in the locker, all the PvP items in your inventory, your account bank, collections, all that stuff is going away, and all your skins are going to be converted into the wardrobe.
Cool.
Um,
So essentially, like, if my character, right, in PvP, I had some really cool armor and stuff like that. When I come into the game, am I going to have that armor, or what am I going to look like?
You're going to log into the game with your PvE armor.
Okay.
Because there are no longer PvP equipment slots. But you will have all your skins ready in the wardrobe to reapply to your PvP armor to get yourself looking exactly like you were before. So in order to do that, the first time you log in after April 15th, your account will be awarded a one-time allotment of transmutation charges. You'll get 1 per rank, 1 per PvP rank.
Okay, and so right now, so like let's say I'm level 39, I'd get 39, but so if I was level 39, I would get 39. But let's say some of the higher rank guys, and we'll talk about more of this when we get to the rank rebalance stuff.
Yep.
But it actually goes against your new rank. So if you get with the rank rebalance changes, if you were rank 39, but that day you come in at level 50, you get 50 instead of the 39. Obviously, that's
Yep.
not the right numbers, but I'm just giving examples.
Yep.
So
Not
cool, so-
actual examples.
Not actual examples, but kind of examples. So, but yeah, okay. I just want to touch on that because I want people to make sure they know when they come in. They're either naked or they got like their basic. If they're like PvP players only, they're wearing their basic stuff. They don't freak out. That's by design. You're just gonna come in, apply your skins, your existing skin that you had that are unlocked in your wardrobe, to your PvE stuff.
Yep. Yeah, and you should have more than enough transmutation charges to do that.
Yeah, for at least a couple switch ups, whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
So armor, now that it's unified across the game, and still it doesn't have stats in PvP, it doesn't factor into your PvP build at all. So you no longer use the hero panel to pick your PvP equipment. We have this new PvP build UI. Some people in the forums guessed exactly what it was going to be. No, it's not templates, but it
Baby
is.
steps.
It's definitely far superior than what we had. So previously, you'd have to walk around, go to all these vendors to get all your runes and sigils and amulets, and it was a pain. So now everything is in one piece of UI. You no longer have to deal with physical items.
So when you were first making this, right, I was a little skeptical. I was like, I don't know about this. So it's pretty much simple already, right? Like I was like,
no.
it's all pretty much the same. I got to walk around, do stuff. But when we actually got in here and play with this thing, like, I mean, just show it off, right? Like when you click a weapon, what happens, right?
Yeah. All right. So we have a new paradigm for kind of equipping things. There's lots of ways you can do it. One way is to click on a slot, and it'll filter your build inventory basically to everything that can go in that slot.
So these are physical items that I have right now.
Weapons,
inventory.
yes, because equipment is shared, weapons are, these could be PvE weapons, for instance. These could be starter
Exotic,
items. They could be
rares.
exotic, rare, whatever.
But that doesn't matter, though.
It doesn't matter. In PvP, specifically in the build UI, when you hover over items that are shared across game types, weapons, for example, they'll no longer show attributes in the tooltips. They won't show sigils or infusions or anything like that. It just leaves a note, says, hey, attributes are still exactly the same as they were before in PvP. If you do want to see the attributes, then you can just go to your hero panel
Yeah.
and your inventory. You can still see them there.
Cool. All right, so so essentially it works a lot like the old skin system used to, but instead we're actually using items now.
Yep. And so if you have slots selected, you can equip things with single clicks, filters by type. Same thing with sigils now. So sigils have their own slots. You no longer put them in your weapon because since the weapon is shared in PvP and PvE, you may have a PvE sigil in your weapon still. And you can just swap them out with the click of a button. And there's tooltips for all these. You get comparison tooltips for sigils only now, which is amazing. Thank you. You're welcome. Runes also have comparison tooltips, and attributes also have comparison tooltips, just like they do the green-red comparison thing, just like PvE armor does.
Yeah, so you can optimize yourself. If you want more power, you can look through the powers. What about, is there a way to search it just not by scrolling to this? I see there's a search bar.
Oh man, you know there's a search bar.
Oh, let's show
So, like the inventory, you can do type-down search. So for instance, let's say you wanted to see all sigils that have something to do with bleeding. You can type in bleed, and then here you go, bleed duration, chance to bleed, bleed on weapon swap, all that
And who
cool stuff.
programmed that?
Oh, you know I programmed it.
Was it the Lesh Prince?
So I'm pretty sure it was the less prints. So that's awesome. So what if I put like power? Will power work as well? So if I'm looking for power stuff?
Yeah, so let's say you're on runes, you could type in power and search for everything that has power in it. You can also sort by category, which adds everything to a drop-down list, and it sorts by primary attribute. So if we go to amulets, for instance, these are all the power main amulets, these are all the precision main amulets, toughness main, etc., etc.
Excellent.
So one of our astute viewers has a question. Evan, they noticed that the underwater weapons are actually missing from this panel.
That's right, they're gone.
Okay, so, with great things, sometimes they must leave, and sometimes they come in. And with this, we've let, the Titanic come in and let it bring all these awesome changes, but something had to leave. And one of the things we saw was, Capricorn. Capricorn was our only the only map that had underwater actual combat areas. Some of our other maps have places where you can go underwater, but for the most part, that was one that actually had underwater combat. We decided to retire Capricorn. It's not going to be in any game mode, so it won't be in custom arenas where it's mostly. We're actually retiring that. So we're also changing the lobby as well to not have that. And
You mean water?
Yeah,
Water.
okay.
Okay.
Water. I apologize. Yeah, and then as you can see on the build UI, they said there's going to be no underwater weapons on there.
Yep.
So
There was just a lot of overhead to build making that was unnecessary for most of the game types. So,
yep.
what other cool things can we show about this?
So I noticed there was some lock symbols there.
Oh, you noticed this right here.
So what we got? It was Cavalier. That's
Let me
not
sort alphabetically here so they're not hidden.
part of our regular combos, our stat combos.
Yep, so with all these new traits that we're adding, we're also adding, 2 new amulets, 2 new runes, 2 new sigils.
Yep.
Their account unlocks. You unlock them from the build UI. You can just try to apply it.
So how much it costs.
Says how much it costs, buy it, unlocked for your account forever, and then you can start using them. So you can single click apply, or you can double click, or you can drag, etc., etc.
So on that note, new stat combos is not the only thing that we'll be bringing into PvP for this patch.
Nope. So like Evan said, we also have the new runes. We have new sigils, and it's going to be kind of like a regular update thing. I think we're going to try to do is there's a lot of runes, there's a lot of sigils, there's a lot of stat combos that aren't in PvP, and we can, now that we have this system, we have access, outlets to be able to give these things. But like we said in the
That we'll be
last
bringing
one,
into
last
PvP
video,
for this
well,
patch.
there's going to be still a core
so,
set
like,
of traits, a core set of unlocks, like the
We have
runes, the
sigils.
sigils, the stat
That's
combos.
gonna
There's
be
going to
kind
be
of a
always a
regular
core, and
update.
those will always be free. Anyone who
Is,
makes an account,
there's a lot of
rooms. In the next couple days, next year, they'll always have that core set. But we want to release, these extra things, these extra sigils, these extra runes, these extra stat combos. We want to make those just cost a little bit. So like you saw sigils there, did you show us how much the sigils cost? They still
Sigils are 3 gold for your entire account
Account,
forever.
it's account unlock. Again, yeah, like, exactly. So when you buy this on your warrior, you can use that on your Mesmer, on everybody on your account that does an A's. Show them, go ahead and show them the rune cost. So we know it's 3 for sigil, rune is 5 gold, and the stack combo is 10 gold. So, you know, and how, one of the things that... You saw sigils there, did you show is how much the sigils cost? These sigils are saying that I'm too loud.
Sigils are...
I think you're too quiet.
Oh, I'm too quiet. I'll close my mouth. I'm sorry. So yeah, one of the things here, you know, we want to really accomplish is we want to have that sense of progression, where you know we can actually work towards something. Like let's say you come in here, and for a new player, there's a lot of option shock, right? I come in here, there's 10, 15 new, like 10 to 20 stack combos, a bunch of runes, a bunch of sigils. But once you get into it and you start really looking at it, it's actually, you know, you get used to it, it's fine. But we wanted to add like a way that we can continue to add more runes and more sigils without having even more of an option shock.
Right.
And I think this is a good outlet, because again, it's an account-bound unlock that doesn't cost super, you know, a ton. And then hopefully with the new rewards changes we're going to go over, these monetary values won't be too bad.
Yep.
Yeah, and like you said, so many more rewards are going in that these gold prices, like, I see in chat right now a lot of people going like, wow, 10 gold, that's going to take me a lot of games.
Yeah.
Probably not as many as you think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I also wanted to show off the traits. It's basically exactly what's in the hero panel, just a condensed version of it. But it works just like how the hero panel's been demoed. But that's also in the build UI too.
Yeah, and so it's really flashy. I mean, it's actually really nice. You can do this in the middle of games too, or in the start of a game. You have the options so you can see like the enemy comp, and instead of having to go jump out of the game, run to a vendor, pick up a bunch of sigils, apply it to all your gear, boom.
Uh-oh. Well,
Pro.
I wonder who the programmer responsible for that is.
Not even on here.
Hey, Alec, can we go back to camera? Excellent.
All right. Boom.
Snaps.
Blaming Evan.
Whoa. Not me.
Content in development.
Yeah. So we do these live streams right here.
Yep.
Showing this live stream here. But yeah, so that's pretty much the build UI and the idea behind item normalization, you know. Making it so your PvE, you can progress your PvE character and bring all those looks in, as well as also making it so all the PvP characters who have all those items unlocked, you know, all those skins, they transfer over. So you don't feel, again, like you actually PvP players have kind of a step up. Because they have a lot of skins. You know, those guys that are ranked 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 and 70, all those big guys, they have a ton of skins unlocked.
And they're going to get them all immediately. So PvE players,
Yeah.
unless they've been holding on to all the weapons they've ever come across
Like in their bank. Yeah.
they're only going to get skins for, you know, what they're wearing or what they've saved.
Yes.
So PvP players, as soon as they log in, they're going to have hundreds and hundreds of available skins.
Yep, and also the charges that go along with that, so they can you know, can jump around and do stuff. You know, they can change their look a bunch of different times depending on what rank they are. So, okay, so I think we got a pretty good amount.
Yeah, so I guess we can jump back in. I guess in the meantime we can talk about the rank rebalancing.
Okay, so I actually went on the forums and cleared some stuff up because some people asked about, like, you know, what rank now? What is this rank rebalance? What does it mean? What does it mean? And I thought, you know, to clarify what we're going to talk about here. So, right now, to get to rank 80, it requires, I'm going to throw out some big numbers here, 8.9 million rank points. 8.9 million. So
That's a lot of rank points.
Yeah. And you think, you're like, wow, that's a lot of rank points. And you go, okay, how many rank points do I win in a match? Like 1,000 to 500, right? 1,500 to 500 is about how much games, you know, depending if you're winning Team Arena or Custom Arena, that's about how many you're getting.
Right.
So it takes a long time. And we have a lot of players that have put in a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of effort to get to those ranks. And the whole point of that system was to reward players for their time investment in PvP, but not make it some unobtainable thing that players need to play 8 years to obtain. Almost, hopefully, not longer than the lifespan of our game, but, you know, that's a long time. That is a very, very long time for a lot of players. So what we wanted to do is make that system more accessible to the competitive casual, or even just the more casual player. You know, we want players to be able to progress through the rank system in a sense where they're constantly getting ranks at a static time when they hit a certain rank, right? It's like in World v. World. When you hit a World v. World rank, at a certain point it only becomes 5,000 World v. World rank points to get a level.
Right.
We wanted to have that same system where you're constantly feeling you're getting rank ups, you're getting rewards from the reward tracks, you're getting everything where it's just a nice constant thing where instead of it's like, I got a rank last month, and I might get a rank in 2 months. Like, that doesn't feel good, right? And a lot of those players have been really grinding out and getting those things to try to get those ranks. But we felt like that's not the system that is supposed to solve, right? So we take the ranks and we're like, okay, where do we feel like we should balance these out? So we said, okay, from rank 39 to 80, we're going to make it a static 20,000 rank points per level. So it's fun. That's still a pretty decent amount of rank points. But what does that mean? That means from rank 39 to 80, you're always going to take 20,000 rank points to get a level. And you're going to get a reward each time. But that also means we cut down how much rank points it takes to get to 80. Now, numbers may shock and amaze. I believe it's like 2.1 million or 1.1 million, something around there. We cut out about 7 million rank points required to get to rank 80, which is a lot.
So do you have like a rough estimate of like what rank you need to be able to hit 80?
So pretty much what we said with the numbers we looked at, it's about mid 50s.
Okay.
54, 55, you will get from, as soon as you log in, you get to rank 80. Now what does that mean? Does that mean you lost all those chests? No. Actually what we're going to do, because of Evan, boss mode.
Lesh Prince.
Lesh Prince, absolutely.
And he made it so you will actually get credit for every one of the ranks you get pushed towards. So if you go from 54 to 80, you'll get 36 rank chests, the large rank chests. Now each one of those rank chests...
26.
What's it?
Sorry,
26. I'm sorry.
Math.
I'm sorry. You're gonna get 5 skill points for each one of those boxes. 1 Tome of Knowledge, which is a free level, which is now a skill point, and then 5 champion bags for each one of those. So you're going to get 26 times 5 times 5 times 1.
So now, when you hit rank 80, so say, I'm going to hit rank 80 probably really close to the patch or right afterwards. What's going to incentivize me to want to keep leveling up and keep ranking up?
I'm sorry. So the one thing that as soon as, actually you brought this up because you're a boss. You said that, and we were all like, oh crap, we had the thing where you could go past rank 80 into any rank past that, but again, it was part of that exponential curve, so we cut that off.
Mm-hmm.
But then we're like, oh man, if we do that, then people, once they hit rank 80, you're never going to be able to progress to get any more of these chests. So these guys are not getting punished, but kind of getting punished for hitting rank 80, because then they can't get any more of that system.
Right.
So what we decided, again with the help of the Lesh Prince, he was able to make it go, go past rank 80, but still stay on 80. Kind of like we do in PvE.
It's just like PvE.
It's just like PvE. When you get to rank 80, you can level up, but you're still level 80.
So off the top of your head, what comes in a bag at rank 80?
A bag.
Or a level up reward chest. What comes in them?
So you're going to get the 5 champion bags, the 5 tomes of knowledge, 1 tome of knowledge, and 5 scrolls of knowledge.
Okay, so you get rewards
constantly. It's just going to be like that forever.
And those skill points you can use to purchase new traits,
yes,
new skills.
Yes.
Okay.
All those things. So again, and that is an account bound rank. So even if I come in on my super low, if I come on my warrior or whatever, and then I progress that up to almost finished, and then I come in on my, my mesmer, and I rank up there, it'll be the same reward.
Okay. So what about players like Ostrich Eggs, who's rank 70 right now? What's going to happen to Ostrich?
So I mean, he's obviously going to be rank 80 immediately. Mm-hmm. He's going to get the rank chest up to that, and then he's going to be one of the very few people that are going to get to Dragon immediately on the patch day. So, I mean, also he has also unlocked more skins than probably anyone in the entire game.
Now, for someone like him, and this is just to clarify a point for anyone who people out there probably asking.
Sure.
So obviously he's progressed much higher than 55.
Oh yeah.
So all the rank points between 55 and 70, will that factor into the rollover at 80?
So you'll hit 81 basically, and then start rolling over from there. So you'll cap out, it'll truncate, and then you start gaining rollover ranks after that.
Okay. Sounds good. So a lot of dragons right out of the gate.
Well, I mean, kinda. Yeah, so like Evan just did it right now. He actually leveled up one time. So we were 80, and he leveled up. So if I were to open this box right here, I will see I got another rank 80 large rank quarter chest.
And this is just these rank up chests are just gravy essentially, like
yeah.
on top of the entire system that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, which I'm super excited to talk about.
Yeah, like really the meat and potatoes of this.
Yeah,
like
that's the thing. This is essentially, again, this is the thing we want to just. This is your goal, like your weekly goal, right? This should not be your tri-monthly, yearly goal to rank up once, right? This should be your weekly, bi-weekly, depending on how much you play, honestly. But it should be like your bi-weekly or weekly goal for players to constantly be like, oh, cool, I'm going to get my five skill points. I'm going to get my level. I'm going to get my 5 champion bags on top of the other stuff that's going to be coming.
Okay, so let's talk about these new rewards.
All right.
This is your baby.
This is the thing that, I mean, we had programmers, we had artists, we had everybody come together to come, UI artists, all the people come together for this.
DUI is beautiful.
It's next level. Every time we kept upgrading it and everything, I kept getting more and more excited. So, if you go to your PvP tab over here, you'll see, first of all, I'm a dragon, which I'm not, but I am.
Congrats.
Thank you. I worked really hard for that.
Thanks, I saw.
0 games played in your
Zero
dragon.
games played.
That's really good.
It's impressive. Actually, this is my account. So
That's true, actually.
Oh, Evan's really good.
Evan's
That makes more sense. I was like, when did Hugh get good?
Never. So you'll see you have a new thing here called reward tracks. So let's go to reward tracks here. So you see in reward tracks, this is where you're going to actually start getting all your rewards. So first things first, the way we progress reward tracks. The way we progress reward tracks is just by playing PvP. You play PvP in solo arena, play solo, team arena, you play custom arena. As long as custom arena has progression, you will always be progressing your reward tracks. Obviously, in the competitive modes, solo and team, you're going to progress a little faster, but not much faster.
Wins too, right?
Wins also gives you a little bonus, kind of like we do with all the other stuff, gold and whatnot.
Mhm.
So we want to always incentivize people to win, so people just don't AFK and whatnot. But yeah, so let's go over what reward tracks we have. So if you go right now, you can see you're going to pretty much start like this. You're going to start with 3. The 3 you're going to pretty much start off with is going to be like a region track, which right now we have the Kreiter region track, the Battlestar back item reward track, and a dungeon track. So I'll kind of go over those in a second, but let's kind of look at what is actually available. So if you go to all here, you can see what you have. So we have all of our reward tracks. We have 8 dungeons, we have 5 regions, and we have 1 Battlestar back item track. So going with the one that I'm most excited about, Battlestar back item track, you can see this is a non-repeatable reward track. You can see by repeatable ones by clicking over this little circle thingy right here. It tells you repeatable. This one does not have that. This is a one-time only track. The reason why it's a one-time only track is because when you get to the final reward of the reward track, you're going to get the Battlestar back item. And that is a unique skin to PvP, a unique skin to the game.
Mhm.
It's the only way to obtain this skin is by actually playing this reward track and getting to the final reward.
And you won't need multiple of them, right? Because...
No, because as soon as you get one, you'll lock in your wardrobe.
Boom.
All characters can have it.
All right.
All right. So, as you can see, there it says 0 of 40. There's actually 40 rewards per reward track. And ideally, depending on which game mode you're playing, either custom arena, solo arena, team arena, it takes about a game and a half, game and a quarter, or a game to get 1 reward. So I'll probably jump in here in a little bit into an actual match. You can kind of see what the in-game UI looks like. But each one of these big rewards, we call these a tier reward, each one of them has 4 mini rewards under them that are progressed that you can actually see in-game.
Mhm.
But we wanted to just showcase when you open this UI, the big stuff, the stuff that the actual meat of this, of each reward track. So we got this track. So you can see there's like Champion Hound of Balthasar right here. It says right here, this is the tier 1 reward. It's going to give you Champion Bags, Dragon Ore, and Imperial Fragments. So, Champion Bags, Dragon Ore, Imperial Fragments. Man. So in PvP, you're actually going to be able to start farming for, your gear. You can actually start crafting. You're going to get crafting mats. Either not, mind you can just sell this stuff, except for Dragon Ore, Imperial Fragments. But you can sell, if you get unique skins, you can sell those items, rares, exotics. You can sell all that stuff. You can keep it. You can do whatever you want with it. But before, you never had access to these things. But again, with the way wardrobe works, the way gear unification works, if you get a really cool skin, you can just slap that bad boy right on and just go right into PvP and keep right on rolling. Or if you want, just sell it, make some money, keep right on playing PvP.
Right.
But yeah, and so then what we did is we made all the tracks have a little something on it. But one of the big things I want to highlight here on the region tracks and the Battlestar backpack track is the rewards you get as the final reward. You also get, for the Battlestar, you get the backpack skin, Dragonite Ore, Imperial Fragments, Obsidian Shards, and Mystic Clovers. It's the only place in the game where you're guaranteed Mystic Clovers for your legendary.
Okay.
So, I just wanted to point that out. But so they say, okay, how do I see here on my available tracks, I see this Honor of the Waves dungeon track, and it has days left, right? What does that mean? So we decided to avoid option shock, right? Again, of you having 8 dungeon tracks, 5 region tracks, all these tracks, and you really don't know which one you want to select. We decided to put the dungeon tracks on a rotating 2-week timer. So, right here you can see I have 3 days, 12 hours, 42 minutes left on this track. After this track is done, a new dungeon track will come in, and this track will be retired for that time period. Now, any progress that I've done on this track will go in and stay, but it'll just be out of rotation until it comes back around. But if I want to unlock this track, I can actually go and play the story mode of the specific dungeon, and when I complete it, I will unlock that track for my account forever. So if I go play Honor of the Waves, I will actually unlock this track and be able to progress the track as many times as I want, whenever I want. Or I can unselect it and select a new track and progress that, but that'll always be an option to me. So what makes unique about the dungeon tracks is the dungeon tracks have these things. Honor of the Waves weapon box. This is actually a weapon choice box and stat combo. Well, it depends. The stat combo of that dungeon. So there's not all of them are available for every dungeon. It's specific to the dungeon. That you can select every other tier. So you actually get 3 weapons, which have unique skins, and their exotic level, and their level 80. You get 3 of those per track. And then the final reward is a armor choice box, where you can select 1 armor piece. Again, the stat combo and the skin type you want. Again, you can put that in the wardrobe and put that on any character you want.
Okay, so you mentioned that the dungeon reward track will cycle out, this one will expire and the next one will come in.
Yes.
So if you don't want to PvE to unlock the dungeon, you always have an option to get a dungeon set every week, right?
Yes.
So how do you progress the Crichton region track?
So, yeah, that's actually a good point. So now there's 5, so actually let me just this way, activate, puts it at the top right there for me. If I want to unlock the other region tracks, you actually have to complete the track of the region. So like right now, I have Kryta region selected.
Everyone will have this at the beginning.
Yes, everyone will start off with Kryta, and once you finish Kryta, you'll go to the Alpine region, and once you complete that, you'll unlock. So I had that written down on my notes.
You have,
Let me make sure I don't say the wrong stuff here. I have you will unlock, Alpine, then Regrown, then Wetland, and Risen. So obviously those are like my names, we call them internally, but they have that'll be like the Ashford region. And what makes these what actually makes this unique and what we were looking for these is that each one of these regions has specific mobs that aren't in some of the other regions. So if you want to farm for let's say I want to farm for scales, maybe I'll go to the Maguma jungle, right? Because that's where all the scale live and all the Skelk and all those guys. That's where all I can get all my fangs. So I can actually just run that to constantly get chances to get those guys. And each one of the little boxes has that has it says Skelk, loot box, reward box. It's actually 5 rolls on killing a mob. So it's like I killed 5 Skelk. Every time I open one of those boxes, it's like me killing 5 Skelk. I kill 5, and you get 2 of those when you rank up. And I'll show more of that stuff when we get to the in-game stuff.
So this is really cool. But you mentioned you unlocking, so you're gonna get new skins, which are gonna now require the transmutation charges that we've talked about before. So you're gonna get those from the rank up chests, or pardon me, from every skin in your, or pardon me, every rank that you have. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Every rank that you have after the rank rebalancing, you'll get a transmutation charge for. But what's gonna happen when I run out of those?
So that's another thing. That's just a good point. Each one of these tracks we've put on guaranteed things, guaranteed rewards that you will always get no matter which track you run. So you will always get 4 transmutation charges per reward track. So it's every other tier you're going to get a transmutation charge. But every tier you're going to get a Tome of Knowledge level. Every tier.
So no longer do you have to specifically buy a Tome of Knowledge with before you had to buy them with Glory and Silver. Now you will get them just for playing.
For playing. So every track, no matter which track you run, you'll get 8 levels when you complete.
So leveling in PvP whether you like it or not.
Yep. And the best part is those are account bound. So I can be on my level 80 warrior. I can play a reward track, and I can get 8 Tomes of Knowledge for free just by playing, and then trade them over to my Mesmer or my Necromancer, level up 8 times, and he didn't do anything.
On top of the Tomes of Knowledge that you can potentially be getting from your rank up chests and your skill points,
all that stuff.
all the bags.
Yep.
So you'll be swimming in loot.
You'll be swimming in levels and stuff like that. The thing that I really liked about this system was that, we made it so you could trade those levels to the characters. Because everybody plays multiple alts. In PvP, you play. Some days I'm like, I'm going to play my Thief. Well, not me, but I always play Warrior. But sometimes people are like, I want to play Necro, I'm going to play my Mesmer, I'm going to play this. And they would only be progressing that character. But with this system, you can actually play any character you want and kind of progress whichever ones you want. Which is, again, it's really nice. And again, if you unlock a skin for a class, put on another class. Put it on if it can go on that class, put it on that one. So that way you're not just getting a specific loot, maybe a soulbound loot that you get for them, but at least you can throw the skins around.
All right.
So the last thing, actually, you brought this up, and I wanted to point this out too. On the region tracks, you're also going to get unique weapon skins based on that region. And right now on the trading post, they're pretty expensive. Some of them are pretty expensive because there's 5 regions and they all have a full weapon set that's unique, like the exotics rarity weapon skin set. So at the end of each one of these tracks, not only will you get your Dragonite Ore, your Imperial Fragments, your Obsidian Shards, your Mystic Clovers, you will also get a choice box of a skin of the region as well.
Okay, and one other thing I want to touch on, since you mentioned the clovers, right?
Yeah.
So since these are champion bags,
Yeah.
these actually have chances to drop a precursor, right?
Yeah, I mean, any of these things, I mean, because we're rolling on PvE stuff now, all these things are going to have chances to give you precursors, give you exotics, give you rares, give you all that stuff. And, like, you can use regular salvage kits, you can use mystic salvage kits, everything else, it works like PvE now. Where we're trying, again, the big thing here was we're trying to bring the game together and combine all the systems so that you can come into PvP and feel like you're progressing your character across the whole game. Not just PvP, not just PvE. You know, this is Guild Wars 2 now. This is we're putting our game in the game.
A lot of concern before on the note of the PvE thing, because there's a lot of loot now that like PvEers will really want to build their legendaries and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of skins that were available before, like SAB skins that are on the auction house or trading post rather. You cannot afford them as a PvP player, but like now that you're getting more items that are usable across the entire game, you have more avenues for making money, and those skins are now a little bit more attainable.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can also get, like, one of the things I threw on here as well is anytime you open a bag in here, you're guaranteed a green. So even, you're always able to salvage and get some Magic Find. And that's the other thing. Anyway,
Oh yeah, finally, we can tell you what Magic Find is
we
for.
can tell you what Magic Find is for. Because with the help of programmery magic, I was able to make it so when you actually open up these boxes, it uses your Magic Find as well. So when you actually open up a box, it'll use your Magic Find to help you improve your rolls. So all those things you were salvaging getting Magic Find for, they will affect every one of those boxes you open.
That was such a weight lifted just
I
now.
know.
was like,
I forgot. I completely forgot about that. But that was one of the things I pushed for so hard was we need to make it so this Magic Find that we gave all these people can really be utilized for something. And we had it.
We've been saying so long.
We'll tell you.
Salvage it.
Salvage it, please.
Get the
I
luck.
promise.
Get the luck. You're gonna want the Magic Find.
Yeah.
Boom.
So, yep, all those things. And so, the other thing too is all of these reward tracks are repeatable. So if you want to run, if you're making your legendary and you don't want to, you don't want to run Honor of the Waves, but you need those dungeon tokens. One of the special items that's on this, and not even on the tier reward. These are actually, it's not even on the tier reward. It's actually one of the minuscule rewards in between. Is actually dungeon tokens. So you can actually play PvP and get dungeon tokens for your legendary. You can get the skins for the dungeon, you can get the armor skins for the dungeon, you get a bunch of champion bags. I mean,
It's like actually running the dungeon.
it's like actually running the dungeon. So the thing I'm super excited. I can't wait to just get in and just play and be like, you know what do I want to get today? Do I want to get stuff for Ascended crafting, for my legendary, or do I want to get skins? Do I want to get ectos? Do I want to get farm for scales? I want to farm for blood? What do I want? And just go through and pick a track and just have fun.
So I mean, to bring it all back together, for so long PvP was off on its own with its own rewards. And really, this is all about bringing those rewards, closer to the entire game.
Yes.
And a lot of PvPers are looking for, where's the PvP rewards? These are your PvP rewards. These are your Guild Wars 2 rewards.
Yeah.
These are your Guild Wars 2 rewards. This is for the entire game. This is not to say, this is going to be the only rewards that we'll do for PvP. I mean, you can already see the Balthazar back piece is something you can only get through PvP.
Yep. And actually, someone brought up a really good point. There's a couple of skins that actually can only be gotten in PvP. And people were wondering, how are we going to get those skins? Maybe they'll show up in a reward track sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, instead of having to get to rank like 40 or 50 to get a chance to get a specific skin, maybe we will definitely listen to that and make a reward track that's like, hey, this skin that you guys have all been waiting for, it's now a reward track. Just play a little bit of time. And again, it's not based on skill where it's like, sorry, you didn't get 50 kills, so you don't get any reward track points. It's just playing, having fun. You can play custom arena. Now, mind you, if you win, you get more points. But it's not like we're ever going to be like, I'm sorry, you didn't get 50 kills. You don't get any reward track. You don't get any rewards. Just play PvP.
So to touch on what you just mentioned with potential new reward tracks, this was actually mentioned in the blog by John Corpening. So we're looking to eventually tie in possibly Living World and holiday events with reward tracks, so you'd be able to progress Living World content or partake via PvP.
Yeah, so one of the things we saw that people really liked was, every time we had a Living World release, we try to pick something from them and put it in tournament reward chests.
Winter's Day boxes.
Winter's Day boxes, the what is it, the support,
The Alliance
bags,
Yeah, Alliance
yep.
bags. And people really like that kind of stuff because it gave them outlets for money, right? Which a lot of times you only got money at the end of the game, stuff like that. Gave them stuff that they could play PvP and still feel like they're part of the events. And we wanted to do that same thing, and the biggest, easiest way for us to do that is just make a reward track, right? Like, oh, you played a little bit of that content. Oh, you unlocked the, whatever. I mean, at this point, it'd be like, the Scarlet the reward track, and now you can progress and get, the shards, and you would have got the black line, the bags and stuff like that all throughout the reward track, and you make it repeatable until the event ends. I mean, it just makes so much sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. Like I said, it's more about Guild Wars 2 rewards and playing the game that you want to play now.
Yep.
If you want to get some cool stuff from PvE, you don't have to anymore. You can, I'm gonna, like you said before, I want to grind for my clovers. Well, I don't need to go and do it out in PvE. I can do it in PvP now.
Yep. I mean, the thing is that we want to make it just so every game type is rewarding for Guild Wars 2. All the systems work in all the game modes, and this is the way we're doing it in PvP. If I want to go play World v World and get Op Shards of Dragonite, you can totally do that. You want to go do that in PvE, you can totally do that. And in PvP, you can totally do that now, which wasn't a thing before.
Indeed. So I've seen some comments on the trainers right there behind the flashy UI, and there's one I want to call out in particular.
Oh.
No, the one on the right side.
You mean the Professor Grump?
No, not Professor Grump.
Oh, no, Professor. Okay.
No, the cleverly named warrior one.
What? Hamilfer the Bowyer?
Hamilfer.
Listen.
Hamilfer the Bowyer.
Listen, I don't know who named these, but whoever did was really
obsessed with bows.
I mean, he looked at this Norton. He is a beastly man. He's even got a hammer. I think he's a bowyer. Maybe he's got a second weapon set's a bow. I don't know. I'm just saying. Oh, but let's touch over this side over here as well. So with the PvP items going out, and we removed the you having to go to these vendors to buy stuff. We made these guys just give you white items. Oh, that's funny. I didn't flesh. So you come over here, and what this is just a way that you can buy just a place where you can put your skins on. So if you come in here, and you don't have an axe, right, for some reason, but you have a really awesome axe skin, you can just buy it here, equip it, and it will be, you can put an axe skin on that and make it look sweet. And then we got, your armor guy over here. And then last not least, we have, I could trail the trader.
They don't know him.
That's weird. I mean, it looks like maybe our producer's name? I don't know. So, but you can come over here and you can buy the stuff to salvage stuff. Now, obviously, the mining picks and stuff you're not going to really need unless you go into PvP or World v World. So we just wanted to give the option that you can buy the stuff. But the things that really mean stuff is right here, right? Your salvage kits, your bags, the ability to sell stuff, everything. We just give you options for all that stuff. All of it's right here, which we repurposed.
So one thing I do want to see, to go back to the reward tracks, I know we're jumping around.
Yeah.
We're just doing it for free. We're doing it just YOLO today.
Yeah.
That's the best way to say it. I want to see the in-game reward track.
Sure. So with this sweet little handy UI up here.
Who made that?
I don't know. But I can come
so
over
convenient, this button bar.
I know. This is great. Let's see. I can go to Hugh's House of... Okay.
Hugh's House of what?
Nothing.
I didn't see it.
Nothing. This is my favorite band ever. So we're going to go over here. And the in-game UI looks like this. So this would be my first tier, my tier 1 of 8. So you see I have 2 bandit loot boxes, transmutation charge, centaur loot box, and of course, Tome of Knowledge.
Tome of Knowledge. So this is just a small, little slice of the entire...
Let me bring it up so you can actually just kind of get a good pair of what we're looking at here. So as you can see here, this is our in-game. So these are the 4 small rewards you're going to get. And then here's the big reward, which matches this bad boy right here. But you can always see your end game, which you're always aiming towards. So again, if I switch that, boom, I switch it, and now I'm working towards Balthazar Backpack. I got the Champion Hound of Balthazar right here I'm working towards, but I'm still getting my stuff.
So, transmutation charges just for playing. Don't have to do anything in particular?
Nope.
Same thing with the Tomes of Knowledge.
Yep.
And all the loots.
8 Tomes of Knowledge, 4 transmutation charges, champion bags, regular loot, guaranteed greens, awesome endgame rewards. But I think one of the big things, is just welcome to Guild Wars 2 PvP.
So, I noticed you jumped into a custom arena game. Is that going to be the best place to progress my reward track?
It all depends. Hopefully with all these rewards and stuff like that, queues be popping, people be playing, you get a little bonus for playing Team Arena and winning. I believe it's actually you get a full reward, so you'd actually get one of these. You'd get a reward every time you win in Team Arena. But like Solo Arena, you're like almost
a little.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Okay.
And then Custom Arena, I believe, is like 75%.
So it follows like a similar paradigm with how we do gold and rank points.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. More competitive game modes get a little extra, but it's not so much that it's like, oh, I guess I have to play Team Arena. I mean, Custom Arena is going to be quicker because you're just going to be constantly getting pops, constantly playing. And constantly
Always just in a match.
Yeah, always in a match. So that actually is probably almost as good as just playing Team Arena. So,
Okay.
Yep. I mean, that's what it is, guys. I love to get in there and play right now. But
We gotta wait.
gotta wait till April, but I can't.
But we
wait.
can't invite them all in to play
Yeah,
eternally.
I
Sorry,
know,
guys.
I know. But I can't wait. I'm super excited about this system. I mean, just the fact that there's going to be choices of, what I can or what I want to accomplish in my time I play is just going to be great.
Yeah, and so, you guys have anything else you want to talk about with the? So we talked about gear unification, the sweet new fancy build UI, which actually, Hugh, you can pull that up right now, can't you?
Yeah. So actually, in game.
But so in a tournament or a solo arena game or a team arena game, you will not be able to pull up this panel and change your
It's
build.
still locked.
It's locked.
It's locked. Yeah, but so right before a match right now in Custom Arena, I can actually change my build and whatnot, just like you can in regular Custom Arenas. I'm going to keep all the functionality the same. But like in a match, I can actually, when the game actually starts, it'll hide this UI, and if I highlight over the top of it for a couple seconds, it'll drop it down and I can change it and stuff like that. But again, in solo arena.
You want to click on PvP build there? So you can actually, before a match starts, you can, instead of having to jump out of the game, change everything around, you can real quick just change everything around, which used to take like a couple minutes, going to all the vendors, gathering your supplies.
2 clicks.
You don't have to keep 250 of each sigil in your inventory so that you can swap on the fly.
Yep, and I also like there's even things that tells you like, oh, you can't have 2 of these and stuff like that. Even in a man.
Also, there's a hotkey. Don't forget to bind the hotkey for the build UI.
Oh, snap.
It's gonna be sweet.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going into this, like the stuff that Roy and Carl have been working on with the balance changes, the runes and sigil changes, and it all ties in with this. It's like it's fresh coat of paint.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I know. This is gonna be. I can't wait to play PvP.
Right.
I can't wait to play.
And like we touched on before, with the rank rebalancing, how everyone's going to be moving up in ranks considerably. There's going to be a lot of dragons.
No.
Well, there's going to be a good
More than
amount.
0.
There will be more.
gonna
There will
be
be
a
considerably more dragons than there are right now.
Yes, there'll definitely be more than 0.
So we understand like this progression system doesn't really highlight those high level players, but this is not the last. This is not the last thing that we're going to do.
I think the biggest thing that, like, especially with that, is we looked at that system and people were using that system as their way of showing prestige. And it's not really that's not what that system was intended for. What it was really intended for was, your time played, right? Getting some rewards, getting some cool looks and whatnot. But it wasn't meant to be like, oh, I'm ranked 79, that's why I'm super prestigious. So we're gonna leave that to the ladders and stuff like that. Our ladders and our seasons. We're going to let those titles, we're going to let those rewards, those things show you how prestigious I am. This is just we're not retiring it as a system of progression, but we're essentially saying that's not what we think we should be using as prestige.
To tie it all in, so we started this with December 10th. We put gold into PvP, and we started changing things. This is really the new foundation for rewards in PvP, and we're just going to build on it from here.
Yep, I can't wait.
All right. So, anything else you guys want to show off on these systems?
Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything on mine. No,
Can't think of anything.
I think we pretty much hit what we needed to hit. Obviously, post your stuff on the forums. Any
Yeah,
questions
absolutely.
Like that? I mean, I'll do my best today and try throughout the weekend to try to answer any questions I can.
Yep.
I know obviously Ali and Josh are going to be all up on that stuff, poking us, asking us questions.
No, I'll be on the forums for sure.
Yeah. So again, please ask questions. Anything. We'll do our best to try to make sure we answer everything.
Absolutely.
This is all fresh, all new.
Yeah,
Fresh.
absolutely. And now that it's out there, we can talk about it.
That's right.
Talk all about it.
I'm so excited. Oh my god, I can't wait.
So, we do have a couple balance changes that we want to bring up, and so we had the live stream last week, and we kind of went through a lot of the changes that were going to be coming into PvP. Yes. We have all these new sigils, the new runes and sigils changes, the crit damage changes, a lot of stuff coming in. It's really exciting, but there's still a lot of clamor on the forums about some things that we weren't addressing.
Yes.
That would probably be a little while before we got to address again.
So the big thing was when we read those things, Josh, Ali brought those up to us again, and we kind of looked at it and we said, you know what, let's go ahead and hit these big outliers. Let's hit the ones that that need to be a little shave. They need a little shave. So obviously
they're getting a little scraggly.
Yeah,
like it was.
clean them up a bit. Clean them up a bit. So obviously it's not we're not like smacking them super hard, but we're definitely just taking a little shave off them. So the 3 builds are definitely.
Yeah. So the 3 builds we're going to be focusing on, and These are just, again, shaves to the builds, but we're going to be focusing on Pistol Whip Thief, Warrior, Hambo Warrior, and then we're also going to be taking a look at the popular Decap Engineer spec. Yes. We've actually got a list of changes here that we've already implemented, and do you want to lead us off here with the Warrior changes as our in-house Warrior? Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know,
Hambo
I think that the first, all these changes were nice shaves, and I think they needed it. So the first one was Arcing Shot.
That's the Longbow 3.
Longbow 3.
So I don't know why I did the John Peters that's the Longbow 3.
Yeah. Longbow 3, Arcing Shot, pretty decent range, floating projectile, but hit like a freight train.
Level 2 Eviscerate.
Yeah, it's
it's pretty
short cooldown.
Yeah, it's strong.
It's a little strong.
You could say it's strong.
Finisher.
Right.
It's a bit strong, so we're going to be cutting that down by 15%, just to bring it more in line where it probably should be and where it should have been. So that's the Arcing Shot on Longbow, and then we're looking at the trait Merciless Hammer, which is on the defense line tier 2.
And what does this Merciless Hammer do?
It makes it so you do 25% more damage to players that are CC'd. So with Hammer,
right?
Obviously, and we're just bringing that down 5% from 25% damage when they're CC'd to 20%.
Okay, and these are in addition to all the changes that we've.
Yes.
So we changed nothing with the other existing changes we've talked about before. These are just on top of that.
Additional things that again we wanted to address some of the outliers we felt, which were again the 3 builds, and one of them was Hambo.
So the last change for Warrior actually addresses a spec outside of Hambo. We're actually taking a look at the Condition Warrior. So next change is for Impale. Do you want to walk us through that change?
Yeah. So one of the big things we didn't like about Impale is the fact that this is the offhand sword. It's 5. Offhand sword 5.
It's 4.
Something 4. It's the one where he throws the sword and it puts it in your chest.
Right. It does stick out of you.
Yeah, it puts it in your chest, and it applies Torment on you. But the duration it was applying, or the intensity it was applying at the rate, was very slow. If you cleansed at any point before all 4 stacks were on you, you pretty much had permanent Torment on you for the duration of that cooldown, and you could just throw it again. So I believe it played 4 stacks?
5 stacks total over, I believe, a 12-second period or 10-second period.
Okay. And so what we did is we sped up the application, how fast it applies those things, and then also make sure I read that.
let's double check it real quick here.
Make sure. The ability, the active was reduced from 10 seconds to 4. So the time this ability is active has reduced from 10 seconds to 4. So instead of applying the Torment over 10 seconds, it now applies it over 4 seconds. Every second the skill is active. So it'll apply them in a quick succession over 4 seconds, and then you can just cleanse it and be done with it.
So essentially what this does is it opens up counterplay. So you see the stacks on you, you know that you have 4 seconds until all of the Torment stacks are on you, then you have the ability to cleanse them off.
Yes.
Whereas right now you have to go, okay, do I cleanse now, or do I wait 10 seconds from now? Do I run around in the meantime and take a bunch of damage?
Yes.
What exactly do I do here?
Yes.
So yeah, it'll be a little bit easier to cleanse off for now. And we'll continue to watch this skill. It is very strong.
It's very strong.
But we think this is a good place to start, so we'll go from there.
Yeah, so again, those are the 3 little shaves we did to the Condi Warrior and then the Hambo Warrior.
Okay. So I'll take the next one. Super easy, which is why I'm going to do it.
What are you doing?
Well, actually, I'll take both of them.
Okay.
Since I feel like I'm like telling engineers all the time, like, so guys, we've nerfed you. But we'll start with the Thieves first. So Pistol Whip is very strong, but it's also very strong in PvE, and I think we want to keep it that way.
Sure.
So what we're going to be doing in PvP with Pistol Whip is we're going to be increasing the amount of initiative cost for Pistol Whip from 5 to 6. And this should make it a little bit less spammable. Right now it's really strong, obviously it does.
Yes.
The stun, the evade, it's awesome.
It's a little bit of everything.
Yes, a little bit of everything, plus a ton of damage.
Yeah.
So for right now, it's going to be a little bit harder for Thieves to continue to spam it over and over.
Sure.
Won't be able to do it quite as easily as they did before. And again, this is something we'll monitor, but this was a... we want to see how it plays out.
Did you say what the actual change was?
Yes,
Okay.
increasing from 5 to 6 initiative.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the last one... I'm looking my engineer friend's eyes. Looking right at you guys.
Let me look too.
So...
I'm just kidding.
oh my gosh. So I played a bunch of Decap Engineer myself. Research.
Research.
Of course.
I wanted to know what was going on. We also talked about it a bit on the forums. Put a thread up, responded to a thread last week, kind of asking where people felt the strengths lie. And I feel like, much like Hambo, the strengths to a decap engineer are kind of systemic. There's a lot of things that go into an engineer, what makes them super strong, especially in decap.
Yes.
Tons of knockbacks, condition immunity,
Yes.
high toughness,
Yes.
a lot of great traits that prevent damage, armor mods,
Yes.
just so many good things on the engineer.
A little bit of everything.
So what we're going to start with is we're going to tune down automated response. So it'll no longer be a 100% condition reduction. It'll now be 50% condition reduction, but it'll now take place at 33% HP instead of 25%. So a little bit more of a health buffer there,
Yes.
but it now only reduces conditions by 50% rather than 100%. So you can actually apply conditions to the engineer. I've played it a little bit, just,
yeah.
I played with myself, actually, internally.
All right.
Came out weird. Trying to apply conditions to myself, just kind of seeing how it felt, and I was able to, do damage and apply conditions. Like incendiary powder, for example, would tick twice, doing 1,200 damage. So
Yeah.
there's gonna get some weird comments from that.
Well, Josh, that's been good. Have a good one, guys.
All right, see you never again.
Yeah, no, but I definitely think like all of these shaves and all these things for these classes, I think it's just a step in the right direction.
Right.
I think they helped tune them down to a spot where it's just a little better spot.
A little more counterable.
Yes.
Decap engineers can be still really strong.
still-
They've got a ton of instant knockbacks, a lot of untelegraphed knockbacks. They're still gonna be really, really great, and they're still gonna be really good against power classes.
Yep.
I struggle. I was playing a Zerker axe sword offhand warrior the other day, doing tons of damage, but I was struggling against this decap engie. So there's still going to be some issues, but this definitely allows more classes to try to engage against them.
Yeah.
Specifically, a rabid engineer, a rabid Kandi engineer, and a rabid Kandi necro.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah.
That's pretty much it.
It's some good changes, and we're interested to see how they play out. On top of all the other changes,
Yep.
and then with all the meta changes going in with like the new runes and sigils, which there's a lot going in.
Yeah.
I got a little list here of just the stuff that's going in, at least for the stat combos. As I know they probably saw them. I know we hovered over them, but just to make it very clear.
Definitely.
So it's going to be Cavalier
Yep.
going in, and then Magi. Magi is going in. So 2 more stat combos going in. The runes, you guys did see that correctly.
Yeah.
You guys did see that correctly. It's going to be Rune of Perplexity, which has now been rebalanced. Can you actually hover over the tooltip?
definitely.
Might as well.
Yeah.
We're already
here.
past it.
We're here.
So these are the new stats for Runes of Perplexity. As you guys can see, they've taken some interesting balance changes. Interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah. I mean, it does.
We had a lot of conversation about this internally,
Yes.
and
Played with it a lot.
we did. Specifically had sessions together where we had like
Everybody.
10 people running around with Perplexity runes, stunning each other. It was interesting to say the least.
Yes.
So there's that. Also, Runes of the Traveler.
Oh yes, yes.
A very, very good,
Traveler.
a very interesting power set actually.
Yeah.
Very popular in Wolfie World.
It is very, very popular.
Kind of, it's sort of like Divinity, but it's got the obvious run speed on there. So
Yes.
I'm assuming we'll probably see a lot of burst classes taking that, like power burst classes, roamers, like
Yeah.
Mesmers, Thieves,
Definitely,
etc.
definitely. I mean, past 25% move speed is a very, very nice to have on a rune.
Can you hover over Celestial for me? Let's find the Celestial Amulet.
Amulet?
I forgot about this.
Celestial.
All right, so yeah, these are the new stats for Celestial. I think it was actually Izzy who came down and said, we need to rebalance this, guys. We need to change this.
Yes.
And so these are the new stats for Celestial. So this actually is going to open up a lot of build diversity as well. So I'm pretty interested to see Celestial going, because right now in PvP, Celestial's kind of like a joke thing. Like, let's have a Celestial duel. Like, it'll be funny.
Yes, but I definitely think this will hopefully put it in play.
Yeah, so a lot more options going in. And I think...
You want to? Did we say the sigils? Which sigils were you putting in?
Actually, so I was waiting that on purpose because I don't know which ones they are. I think it's Generosity.
Excellent.
Are they at the bottom? Are they unlocked
I
still?
don't remember what the other one was.
So we have the sigil of generosity, and I don't remember the other one was.
You know what'll happen?
You had to unlock it.
I really wanted them.
Oh, we're going for the hacks. Boom.
And renewal.
Renewal!
Boom.
We knew!
Yep,
That was
we
a
knew
test,
That's
Hugh.
it.
Hugh, that was a
I
test.
failed.
Yeah, I was playing you the whole time.
Excellent.
Oh,
So
we didn't show this. This is also pretty sick. Sigils have their own categories. Boom.
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 man, who programmed that?
There's a lot of like...
That.
There's so many changes going in here with the runes and sigils. Like,
It's gonna be ridiculous.
I know we talked about a lot last week. We've shown a couple here again. A lot of sets you guys have been using are changed. substantially. There's going to be a lot of things you're going to be using that you didn't use before.
Yep.
A lot of changes of functionality, like I said, on hit. Some are moving to on hit rather than on crit.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting.
Not to mention it takes like 20 seconds to change your entire build now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and you can even do it in game.
There's no barrier to entry for new builds.
That's, I mean, the best part I think you brought up is being able to change in a match. Just be like, you know what, let me just, okay, I'm done.
Yep. All
Super fast. Super fast.
All right. So I think we're done. I think we might have some updates to the. Nope, I think that's it. Just going to the I'm going to a community clip. So we'll turn that on, and I think we'll peace out. So
all right, guys.
Yeah, again, I was Josh. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm Josh again. Hey, make sure to follow me on Twitter because apparently I'm doing that thing now.
Oh, yeah, you should tell them your joke you put on their Twitter.
You guys can find my
Don't
search my history and you can find the joke.
Oh man, it's too good.
It's a good dad joke.
I followed it just for that. Just for that.
I got like 3 followers up there. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Lesh Prince. I will never have Twitter ever.
Good man. Hugh Norfolk, game designer at ANET Nightmare _
You work at Internet?
Kinda.
Good. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So thanks for watching. Here's your community clip, and we'll see you next time. We'll be doing this stream next Friday, and we don't have information. Well, I know what's going to happen next Friday, but I can't tell you guys yet. So stay tuned on the forums. Lots more blog posts coming out. So yeah. See you
Have a
next
good one,
time.
guys.
Goodbye.